What's up, AfterBuzzers? This is the Voice After Show. We got Gwen pitching to win. Blake compares country music to pap smears, and the best and not so best of The Voice. Right after this.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, I just absolutely love this music. It gives us so much energy for tonight's show. Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Voice After Show, episode 1, season 17. Oh my God, we have so much to talk about because of course we covered 2 shows, but let's talk about it. This show was absolutely amazing. I mean, seeing the judges come back, of course, Adam's not back. He's not here, but you know, it's okay. But again, of course, I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Neema Skye, just to let you know. My other 2 hosts are not here, but it's okay. They're going to be back, but I'm going to hold it down for them. So yes, let's get straight into it. Let's talk about this season. I'm actually excited because with last season, of course, we know that John Legend won, and he, came back this year around. I mean, he started off with the show, giving us a little introduction of his voice win, all of the trophies that he had, which was absolutely funny. But the episode 1 was interesting because we had a different spin here. Of course, I know the first time we definitely had like the younger crowd, but now we have a little bit more of a mixed crowd. So let's talk about Katie Caitlin, the very first person who won. Now, when I heard her voice, I literally thought Elton John. And when everybody turned around, they thought the exact same thing. Everybody thought, of course, she was a man, but she wasn't. She was a woman. She had a very deep, raspy voice. And oh my God, like she gave me so much chills just listening to her voice. It was absolutely amazing. So, there was a kind of a battle there between, Blake and Kelly because Blake did block Kelly, which was such a hater of him. But listen, we know how Blake can be sometimes. But he blocked her, which actually gave an opportunity for John Legend to come through because we know that he won last season. And guess what? She picks John, which I absolutely knew because, of course, John gave her the best pitch. But in the middle, I remember when Kelly made the statement, she was like, you know what? It's the blonde against the bros, which I felt like during this season, in between the mix of all of the contestants, there was so much chatter going on between, the judges. Then we get into Jake Holland, who sung the song Wish I Knew You. Oh my God, listen, this guy gave me so much energy. His voice had so much clarity. There was strength, there was emotion, like his tone was absolutely amazing. And of course, he came from a blues and rock and roll background, and knowing that he came from North Carolina, I just absolutely love how The Voice gives us these beautiful introductions of where the contestants come from, and they talk a lot about him. So they said that he saved up money. Well, he said that he saved up money when he was 11 years old, and he decided to buy a guitar, in which he decided to be a musician. And shortly after, he went on tour with his father. Like, how cool is that? I mean, I kind of feel like maybe he had a little bit more of an upper hand than everybody else because he's already been on tour. So it's like his stage presence, of course, is going to be amazing because he already has history of doing it. So that's why he did such a great job, and he did so good. And of course, he picks Gwen Stefani. We see Gwen Stefani. Let's talk about her a little bit, and Jake. But I felt Gwen Stefani gave us so much of a great sales pitch. It's like when she really talked about the contestants, she tried to basically make sure that she related. And I feel like through every contestant, especially with Jake, she related to him so much. She's like, listen, I come from like a rock and roll and a blues background. Why not pick me? And of course, he picked her, and I absolutely loved it. Now, contestant 3 was a little different. I felt so bad for him because I felt like he was absolutely amazing. I was like, why didn't no one turn around? He literally got no chairs, and I was like, oh my God, no. But J Ma from Tampa, Florida, he talks about how he was a drag performer, which absolutely amazing, but he did not make it. Honestly, to me, he kind of gave me the feel of like an old 1980s The Barge group, but maybe this competition wasn't something that was for him. But however, I think that he did a great job. Blake did speak on his range, and he talked about how he completely disagreed with what everybody else thought about him, and he thought that he was great. But again, nobody turned around, and we had to send him home. That was absolutely sad. Now we get to Brenna Lassiter. I absolutely loved her. I thought that she was really, 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 really good. She was probably one of my favorites, which of course we're going to talk about the best and the worst, but she was one of my favorites just because I felt like she took the song You Are My Sunshine. She took that song and she gave her own spin. Like, it was kind of a blues country, and then she talked about how she did come from, the gospel background. This was her first time ever performing and singing on stage outside of a gospel, which was very, very, very different. But I think personally, I felt like she did a great job, and we see right now that she's going to be a very, very interesting person, because again, like I said, this is her first time in the competition, and she's already shown us that she has what it takes. And not to mention, Kelly jumps out of her seat, and I'm like, oh my God, Kelly. I felt like Kelly was all over the place today. She was just in and out. But of course, the excitement, whenever you're judging and you're actually choosing someone, which we know every time Kelly chooses someone, she's very invested. And of course, she did choose Kelly, and Kelly was very happy about that. And I felt like during this episode, there was a lot of different competition battles between Gwen and Kelly, and I can kind of already see how maybe Gwen and Kelly are probably going to have like some of the best people on their team. But of course, we can't make any decisions yet, because of course it's still soon. Let's talk a little bit about Rose Short. Now, oh my God, guys, I felt so bad for this girl. Now, I think that she did a great job. She got out on stage and she sung the song Preach by John Legend. I mean, how courageous is that, to get out on stage and be able to sing the song of the person that you want to choose you? Sad to say, John Legend did not choose her, and she was like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Which, her voice was absolutely amazing. But I do remember in the first season that John said that he likes to take his time and choose. Well, he doesn't always like to pick somebody as soon as he hears them, because, of course, he's very critical of his own work, and I get it. But listen, he even said, listen, you blew out that song. John even agreed, but she had to go between Kelly and Gwen, and I was like, this is going to be interesting, because I thought she would have chose Kelly. They're both from Texas, they're both from Killeen, and they had so much in common. Even her mom was like, Kelly, 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 but she chose Gwen. Again, we're going back to that point. Listen, Gwen is not here to play with you guys, okay? Gwen is like, I'm going to win. Even though Blake is here, and then she said, listen, when you're on my team, you're on Blake's team, because that's my best friend, and he's going to give me advice. Like, how shady was that for Gwen to just, and then not even to mention, she got up out of her seat, she went over and she kissed Blake. And I was like, this girl knows her power. Maybe that's why she's on the show, because it's not even just about the contestants and the judges, but maybe it's the energy between Blake and Gwen that we're going to be able to get more kind of in tune to. I guess we'll see that. But yes, of course, Rose Short chose Gwen because, again, she wanted to get John Legend, and he didn't. But somebody that John Legend did choose, and who chose John Legend, is Mr. Will Bremen. Now, this guy, oh my God. He took the song Space Girls, Say You'll Be There, which I love that song, but he made it so jazzy and stylistic and smooth, and he brought his spark to it, which I have absolutely never heard. And of course, he did play, the guitar. And when anybody plays on stage, like, to me, that's always like 10 bars. It's like somebody's going to turn around because you're playing. But this guy took this song and he made it what it was. And he literally got a 4-chair turn. Everybody turned around. And not to mention, what a historical moment in the Voice of the history, where John Legend got a chance to sing on stage with the person that he chose and his contestant, Will Bremen. They sung Ordinary People. I mean, God, that has to be a dream come true. I know for me personally, I would love that, because I love John Legend, but that's not why. But still, come on, that's absolutely amazing. Like, I don't think anybody has ever done that. But again, that's John. John's very, very different. Let's go on to Alex. Alex sung the song Love and Happiness by Al Green. I think that he did a great job. But the interesting thing about Alex is that he talked about his relationship with him and Kelly. Again, there's so many connections with the contestants and the judges. He said that he opened up for Kelly. And of course, she said that he had the voice of an angel. Now, very smart. Listen, if I'm a contestant and I'm trying to get someone to choose me, of course I'm going to find pointers. And the fact that he already opened up for her, why would he not pick her? Why would she not pick him? It just makes sense. And of course, he gave his groovy blues of the song. Of course, the song is already bluesed out, but he just put a whole different spunk to it. So absolutely love it. Last but not least, we have the beautiful Kate Hammock. Now, Kate Hammock sung the song Vienna. That was a 16-year-old girl. Finally see a 16-year-old in the building representing. But she chose a very Different song. I don't know, guys, how I kind of felt about her. I felt like her voice was beautiful. It was very, very soft. It was very capturing, but I don't know. It didn't really groove me. However, it did groove Blake, and of course, Blake, he chose her. But listen, let's talk about these hunter pants that Blake came out with. I was absolutely confused. I was like, is this what you're using to get people on your team? Like, I don't know if I would want to put on some hunter pants with some boots. Just it was completely weird. I don't know, guys. Like, Blake was kind of freaking me out this particular episode. But of course, we had The Voice did something different this time. They put the two no chairs together, which I thought was interesting. CJ Washington and Jimmy Hood. These both gentlemen, of course, we go back to the stories. They always have these beautiful stories of what happened. You know, one has just got married, has a big family. And of course, the story of Jimmy Hood, oh my God, absolutely amazing. He had a brother in Iraq who actually came to see, he didn't even know, which I thought was absolutely amazing, which to me, I felt like he would have won, but he didn't. But he sung the song Make It Rain, and I thought that for the very first time performing on stage, he did an absolute great job, but again, he did not make it. But it's all good because we know that happens. But we got some other people, Marina Cello, which was someone from the Shavic Republic. She sung the song Walk Me Home. And she showed a little bit of clip with her and Puff Daddy back in the day when she actually tried out for making the band, but she didn't make it, and it's okay. Those things happen, but I love the fact that she highlighted that this is her second chance. And for a long time, it kind of almost seemed like the judges were not going to give her a chance, but lo and behold, Kelly and Blake turned around and she got a chance to choose Blake. I mean, I don't know. Team Blake is, I feel like Blake didn't have a lot of people on his team tonight because, of course, Gwen, she just overshadowed. Of course she would. They love each other. He's going to let her win. And then I think he even said, I think I'm kind of letting Gwen win, but it's okay. It's all good. Last but not least, we have Kendall Inskeep, and she sung the song Never Been to Spain. Oh my God. Let me say, this girl, when she sung that song, was absolutely beautiful. Of course, we know she's already in Nashville. She's already making hits. So quite naturally, she's going to come to The Voice and continue to do the same thing. She, however, took this song, even though it was a very country song, she took it and she put her own spin. She made it very jazzy, very sassy. And she also put a little bit of rock and roll on it, which was absolutely amazing. But of course, who did she pick? She picked Gwen, which I feel like if anybody's going to pick Gwen, they're going to kind of be picking Blake, because I feel like Gwen and Blake are going to be the two people who are going to kind of come together. And it's interesting to see what John and Kelly's going to do. Of course, John won last year, but I feel like Gwen had a lot of winners on her team. But of course, we have to get to the best picks of episode 1. And my personal best pick had to be Katie Caden, Will Bremen, and Rose Short. Oh my God. Those are my favorites. Yeah, even though I wish Rose probably would have been picked by John, but she didn't, but it's all good. But let's talk about this little line that John did when he shows all of his awards. He has the funny because Blake called him the V-neck, and I'm like, what is that? Like, that's not anything. So he had the Voice Trophy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony all together, and he was just like, listen, I know the other judges don't know, but we're gonna win this year. Amazing, right? Okay, so episode 2, oh my God, was just as much as episode 1. Absolutely amazing. Let's talk about Shane Q. Now, Shane Q got a 4-chair turn. This guy, the moment that he opened up his mouth, there was just so much energy and passion and drive and emotion. Like, he had so much soul. And of course, he got a chance to choose. And who did he choose? We see he chose Kelly. Again, like I said, y'all, I don't know, because of course I was Team Legend throughout the entire time last year. And I felt like I was right. And yeah, I was right because he won. But I don't know, guys. I don't know if John is going to win. I kind of feel a little bit complexed about it. But I guess we'll see. Max, which was the second performer, he was singing The Wayfarer Stranger. Now, this guy in particular, I liked him. Why? Because he got up there and he sung a cappella. Now, how hard is it to sing a song a cappella and then halfway through the music starts? that means that you have to come with some type of confidence, and Max killed the show. Not to mention, of course, he's definitely from Ohio, which is where John's from, which I kind of feel like that kind of won John over. And of course, John did give the shout out to Ohio State. Okay. So yes, he did pick John, and John had another great legendary person on his team. But let's talk about these beautiful twin girls from Atlanta, Georgia. Oh my God. First of all, wait, I said twins. Not. They are a girl group from Atlanta, Georgia. They met each other at an actual entertainment segment long time ago, and they just decided to be friends and form a group. That's how stuff happens, right? And they sung the song Hello Sunday. Now, these girls were very sassy. They were cute. I love their voice, and I can tell right now they kind of have that Chloe and Holly and like the Saint Beauty, like the new, age of like the girl groups. Now, the boy groups have been kind of weird, but I feel like these girls, and just being able to see girl groups in general on The Voice is going to kind of pitch a whole different segment to see the girl group happen. Because I feel like the boy group is kind of doing their thing, but the girl group, we're kind of like in between. But Maya and Chelsea, of course, killed it. And of course, guess who turns around? Kelly. Man, I don't know, y'all. I feel like Kelly's going to win, but I'm not going to predict too soon. Now we have Emily, which was the fourth performer, and she sung the song Blank Space, which is my absolute favorite song. She was very angelic. However, I felt like she did a good job. She gave great energy, but it just didn't move me. And it, of course, didn't move any of the other judges because she got a no chair turn. Man, that was I felt kind of bad for her. But again, this is also a contest, so you have to be the best, right? But again, I feel like she did good, and Blank Space is one of those songs, but I feel like you can kind of go different ranges and do different things, and that's exactly what she did. Now let's talk about Royce. Oh God, I love the story of him and his wife and his son. And before he got on stage, his son was like, Daddy. I mean, what better way to get on stage with your son giving you props? That's just hands down, like that would make me sing to like the heavens, right? Of course. But he sung the song 911 by Wyclef Jean. He gave me a very Bob Marley feel. And at the very beginning, Blake turns around, and even though they both turn, again, like we said before, and Gwen said it again, listen, I'm going to be your coach. I feel like I connect with you because we have this blues and this thing going on, but not just that. If you choose me, you're also going to be choosing Blake, and Blake has the same background. So again, man, Gwen Stefani was killing the pitches tonight. I was like, listen, if I had to choose a team, I would want her on my team because she's going to give you everything, right? So, of course, he chose Gwen. And let's talk about Miss Elise Azul. She sung the song A Million Reasons. Oh, my God. She did such a beautiful job. Again, very beautiful, very, very angelic. And I feel like she gave a different taste to that song. Of course, that song is a very, very legendary song that comes from a different type of genre, but she put a very spin on it, kind of very similar to Maylin Jargon, who actually won last season. But of course, Gwen got another beautiful person on her team. Again, let's talk about, last but not least, our last performance of the night, which was Corey Jackson. He sung the song Galveston. Now listen, guys. Sometimes you have people that come on The Voice and you're like, I don't know, they're jazz, they're blues, they're hip hop, they're country, they're gospel. But this dude absolutely hands down was straight country. And I tell you, I absolutely loved him. I thought that he did a great job. He kind of gave me a mix of an old school kind of versus new school, like the Garth Brooks and some of like the newer country music singers. He did a great job. And of course, who turns around? Blake, because Blake is in it to win it. Even though Gwen is there, Blake is like, listen. And this was the moment that Blake put his foot in his mouth, because Blake always does what? Put his foot in his mouth. He made the statement, and he said that the judges are just as good in country music as he understands pap smears. That was a little weird, Blake. And I was like, wait, what did he just say? But okay. It's absolutely fine, because we all know that Blake Shelton can sometimes put his foot in his mouth, but that's why he's Blake. And then he starts to, give his stats. Well, listen, this is how many things I won, and this is what this said. And I was like, okay, Blake, you got him. But of course, yes, he chooses Blake and Blake chooses him, and that's that. But out of all of these guys, I have to say, because we have to choose one, the best one and the worst one. I hate to say worst because that's so bad. I feel like everybody's a star. But the best I would have to say would be Katie Kaden. I mean, listen, the girl got on stage and we thought that she was a man. We turned around and we realized she's a woman. And not only that, like, she's beautiful. She has a great range. Like, and she said she's only been doing this for 8 years. So it goes to show it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. If you got it, you got it. Now, my least likely person, I hate to say this, it's probably going to be Alex. I mean, he did a great job, but he just didn't move me. You know, like, of course, like, you have that person that can sing, but you need that person that can just kind of move you and kind of give you the groove and the move of, like, the music, because the whole thing about music is what? The emotion and the feel, which is what Gwen said. But, of course, you know, it's all good. So we have our best and our worst, but I would like to know what your best and your worst was. Please leave us a comment and let us know. But not even that, let's talk about this. I want to thank you all for allowing us to be the ESPN of TV talk. Right now, if you're on YouTube, we can use your help. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. But if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. But no matter what you do, listen, leave us your comments, because without those things, we would not be who we are. Myself, my other cast members, the AfterBuzz TV, we wouldn't be here without you. So give us your comments, let us know how you feel. Watch all of our shows on our platform, not just the Voice. We have some amazing shows. So keep tuning in, give us shout outs, and we love you. But of course, we've come to the special segment, which is Where Are They Now? Oh my God, listen. So we have to talk about the beautiful, the talented Maylin Jargon. Okay, first of all, let's talk about this girl. She was the winner of last season, and of course, she blew us out with her beautiful angelic voice. Of course, she did come from Team who? Team what? Team Legend. She definitely killed the show, and I say, guys, she has definitely been doing a lot of things. We see here, this is a picture of her and her boyfriend. They were just at the Emmy show last night, and she says that it's such an honor to present the nominee certificate of the outstanding cast for a reality program, which is The Voice. Last night, The Voice won, guys, so let's give it up. Not to mention, what else has Ms. Maylin Jargon been doing? I see that she opened up for One Republic. She did that back not too long ago, actually. Earlier this year, she opened up for One Republic, and we see that she was there with her boyfriend. Maylin is just killing the game. And not to mention, she was just recently with her coach, John Legend. They were in the studio making up some new music. I don't know, guys. I mean, Maylin Jargon has been heating up the spot, and I cannot wait to see what beautiful music that she's going to give us. And of course, not just her, but we got some news and some gossip from some of our past members from season 16. Listen, okay, so let's talk about some of the old cast members. So I was on Instagram, and I'm like, I wonder how these the old cast members are taking things. Let's talk about Miss Olive Blue. Miss Olive Blue, so beautiful. Of course, we know that she was she was actually one of the finalists. She went all the way to the very, very end, and she wanted to give season 17 a dear open and a welcome warming. She posted these pictures on Instagram, and she gave them a beautiful shout out saying, I've been busy all weekend, so I didn't get a chance to post before last night's premiere, but I just want to say, with this new season starting out, I am reminded of the amazing times that she had, and she just wants to embrace the journey and meet everything with gratitude and say, listen, you guys are going to do a great job on season 17. And she says, listen, reach out to me. But not just her. Let's talk about Julian King. He was also on Team Legend, who did not win, but he did go far as one of the finalists. He also said that he can't believe that the new season NBC airs that the next hour, but season 17 is here, and he just also wanted to give them a shout out. And he said, treat the night crew with respect. He thanked everybody, but he said most of all, he can't wait to watch these blind auditions. And he says, I see you soon, Voice family. Man, what a way for some of the old contestants to be able to give shout out, because again, like getting on that stage and having that presence, like being able to do everything that you do on The Voice, like it's not easy. Like we see the pressure, but again, to get out there and to see season 16 hold it down for season 17, that's love. But let's get into predictions. So
your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So much that we talked about. There's so much that we've seen. And of course, we have so many more blind auditions to go through. But let's talk about who you guys think are probably gonna win. Maybe, I mean, can we really say which judge is gonna win? I feel like tonight, if I had to choose between who would had a battle in terms of like the picks, it would be between Kelly and Gwen, because I felt like, first of all, Kelly and Gwen would just like, they got so many great people. Of course, yes, John did, but, and then Gwen, listen, Gwen was giving us her heart, her soul, her everything, because I can tell you right now, Gwen is here to win. Like, even though she's here with Blake, she said it. She's like, listen, I love you, Blake, but it's going to be wars. She's not playing with him. So I have to say that I think that Miss Gwen may end up winning, but I don't know. We have to come back next week to see. So, yes. So, listen, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I have been your lovely host, Miss Neema Skye. And next thing you know, next week, I'm going to have both of my castmates here, both of my co-hosts here, and you have to be able to tune in. So, thank you guys so much, and let us know. I'm going to look at these live comments because I'm going to shout some of you guys out next week, okay? So, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.